Hey guys, it's Ash.
And Christian, and this is The Group Chat is Haunted. Today, we are going to do Found in the Chat Reddit edition, and we are doing the Appalachian Mountains. This was Ashley's idea.
I've always found an interest in the Appalachian Mountains, but at the same time...
I want to hike them.
No.
Not at night.
No.
Well, maybe at night.
Maybe
we'll see something cool. I don't know.
Something just crawl out of the woods.
Ooh, oh my gosh. Well, I will let you go first, and then I'll go second. I'm really excited for mine.
I kind of went down the rabbit hole with the Appalachian Reddits because I started reading them, and I'm like, I didn't realize how truly creepy that it was. And there's so many folklore and like creatures and stuff that exist in the mountains.
Oh, there's so much.
They say don't listen to your name being called, or the whistles if you hear a whistle at night,
or the scream of a woman. That can either be a coyote. I almost said a hyena. We're not in Africa. That can either be a coyote or like a skinwalker or like a shapeshifter or something like that. I don't know. We'll have to go more into detail about that. But today we are reading other people's stories of the Appalachian Mountains.
So my first one was posted 7 years ago. So this is how far back I went into the rabbit hole. This one is pretty short. Here we go. When I was growing up until the age of 10, we lived in a very haunted house in the Appalachian Mountains. So one morning I wake up, it's like 4 a.m. I was only 8 at the time and couldn't fall back asleep. So I went into the basement to play some video games.
Never the basement.
I do that for about 2 hours and I get bored and the sun starts to come up. So I make my way down to the laundry room and start throwing darts at the dartboard my dad had. So I'm doing that for about 20 minutes and then finish only to turn around and see a man in a top hat dressed like he was from the 1930s standing there.
Okay.
He tips his hat, smiles, and walks away and completely disappears. I was just frozen and in shock. Told my dad about it later when I was 15 and my dad said, "Holy shit, you saw him too?"
He was literally watching him play darts. Yeah. Just like...
He was probably there the whole time.
Good job, lad. Yep. You're doing great.
Good day, chap. You did it. I'm so proud. No, just standing there.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
And it's just the short ones that really get you. I'm like, ooh.
Well, this one last night when I was reading it literally gave me the hibby-jibbies. And like, my stomach just turned. Okay. So this no shit is the creepiest thing that has ever happened to me. I recently purchased a small farm in West Virginia. Springfield, to be exact. A little backstory on me. I'm from the area, went to a local high school, spent 5 years in the Army, and deployed to Afghanistan. I've been married for almost 10 years. Anyways, my farm is a small community between Tazewell and Bluefield, Virginia on 460. My land is about 20 acres of forest connected to a small mountain, with the surrounding land being hundreds, possibly thousands of acres of heavily forested wilderness and small areas for cattle to graze. It's directly at the base of the East River Mountain and the Jefferson National Forest, separated by the highway and maybe one 20 to 30 acre property. Anyways, since I moved into this place, I got this odd feeling that something was watching me when I would go outside at night, but just shrugged it off as nothing and kept doing my thing. Well, about a week and a half ago, I'm outside about 4:30 a.m. getting ready for the day when I start to hear what sounds like someone speaking, but just outside of range to where I would not be able to understand what was being said. Naturally, I assume someone is trespassing, so I grab my AR-15 and walk into the tree line to see if I locate them. Keep in mind, it's still pitch black outside. I see the top of the quote-unquote mountain, about a 500 to 600 foot tall hill, a light that I assume was a headlight or a flashlight of said trespassers. I immediately shine my light at them and yell at them that they're on posted property. The light continues to move about the woods like whoever controlled it didn't hear me or see my light, so I grab my dog and start to head to them up the hillside. The forest is pretty dense, and it's pitch black out, so I'm making slow progress. Well, when I get within, I say, 150 feet of the light, where did it go?
Oh, no.
No. Shit.
Did it just disappear?
It literally just disappeared.
It doesn't want to be told.
There we go.
The Appalachian Mountains don't want to be told anything about.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So the light continues to move about the woods like whoever controlled it didn't hear me say or see my light, so I grab my dog and start walking up the hill. The forest is pretty dense and is pitch black, so I am making slow progress. Well, when I get within 150 feet of the light, it cuts off. I immediately yell, "This is private property," while slowly walking to where I saw the light turn off. I walk maybe another 100 yards, scanning the trees, and my headlamp and I lock on these two big-ass green glowing eyes, and I immediately freeze.
Ew.
Me and these eyes are locked in on one another, and I notice how I move, and it mimics it perfectly.
No.
It mimics my movements in real time with absolutely zero lag. I move my head to the left, so it does it perfectly. This trips me out, and I say out loud, "Is that a mirror in the woods?" I completely perplexed at how it mimics my movements, and I shit you not, this thing shakes its head no at me. I immediately almost piss on myself, and I get this overwhelming sense of dread that washes over me. I immediately put my AR-15 on my shoulder, and I say out loud, "If you come in my direction 1 inch, I'ma smoke you."
Stop.
This thing immediately drops down behind brush, and I lose sight of it. I immediately rack my AR-15, and it pops back up. I say out loud, "I'ma back down the hill, and you do whatever you were doing." This thing looks at me for another 10 seconds or so, and then out of nowhere bolts to the right.
Stop. Oh. Y'all are killing me.
My left over the hill in what sounded like an attempt to flank me. I immediately begin backing down the hill fast as fuck, fighting the urge to turn my back to where it was and sprint down the hill. Needless to say, I make it home, go inside, lock my door, absolutely shocked at what just happened. The crazy part is, my dog never once acknowledged this thing was there. It was like my dog couldn't detect it at all.
Stop.
This thing looked like a 7-foot-tall skin and bone human with a honey spine that ran on all fours. I've racked my brain trying to figure out what it is. Like maybe a sick bear, a sick person. Literally nothing makes sense. Luckily, I did get a picture of it, and in the picture, you can only see 2 glowing eyes. The very next day, I go out and about 12 a.m., and I see a UFO in my driveway.
Not a UFO. What?
I feel like this part's a little far-fetched. I also got a picture of that, but since then, nothing else has happened. For those that will say that I'm lying, all I have to say is believe what you want, but I could care less. This shit really happened, and it changed the way I completely look at the fucking world.
It's the UFO that got me. But can you imagine literally just seeing something staring at you and then
mimicking
it responds?
You. Not even, like, mimicking you. Ew. And then you're like, is it a mirror? And it's like, no. Like, it just shakes its head. That is when my heart dropped into my stomach. And I was like, hell to the no, to the no. Like, yeah. No.
Like that TikTok I sent you with the frog.
Yeah, nope. Oh, it's literally just makes my skin crawl.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know how to feel. I really wouldn't.
It's insane.
Especially knowing what we know. I don't. Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh, ew. And it mimics her. That's so creepy.
Yeah.
Ugh, gross. Okay, I do have to say, though, the UFO was pretty good.
Yeah,
I don't know how I feel
the
about
whole
that.
entire thing gave me heebie-jeebies, and then as soon as it said that a UFO was in its driveway the next day, I'm like,
You're like, wait a minute.
You just killed the whole story. I don't know. Like, if you would have said it was in the sky, maybe. But your driveway?
That's a little freaky. Like, that's still kind of weird. Like, I'm not one to say
My thing is, like, I wish that he would have posted, or he or she would have posted the pictures.
They didn't post the picture. I was going to ask if they posted.
Didn't post any pictures, but said that they had pictures.
I wonder
And, like, the thread kept saying, like, where's the pictures? Where's the pictures? Why don't you post the pictures?
Yeah, like, why won't you post the pictures?
They never replied.
Oh.
But it's still eerie to think.
That is really eerie now that you say that. No, I'm good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, let me see then. You know what? I'm going to go with my second one. Okay. Because my second one is short and it's pretty funny because, again, this is one of those things that I see Matthew, if he was a single man, Matthew's my boyfriend, by the way, but this is something he would do if he were a single gentleman living in the Appalachian Mountains.
Okay.
This one, again.
If only you guys knew Matthew.
Oh, gosh. He's a hot mess express. You think I'm a hot mess express? Jeez. He's worse. This one, it says, it was an early Sunday morning, and only me and my trusty dog were home. I was cooking my steak and egg breakfast.
Delicious.
I know. I was going to say, The doorbell rang, so I turned off the stove, put my breakfast on the table. Fucking Mormons. I didn't know they'd do this thing this early. Anyways, I come back to the kitchen, and my steak and eggs were nowhere to be found. Just gone, man.
The dog.
I looked over at my trusty dog, and I asked if he saw anyone. He nodded no. To this day, a fucking mystery.
Fucking Mormons, man.
I said, what is happening right now?
What's so funny is I could literally see Matthew.
Yes.
Fucking Mormons, man. And, like, getting up from his steak and eggs and then looking at Toby and be like, where the fuck are my steak and eggs?
Yeah, like, what happened? But you know what? It's funny because you read it and you're like, okay, this is pretty funny. But, like, it makes you wonder in context, did the whole plate disappear? Like, did the whole thing?
They didn't say it. They just said that the steak and eggs were gone.
It just disappeared.
Oh, stop. That's hilarious. Do you have a longer one since that one was short? Because my next one is not as long as the other one, but it's pretty long.
Yeah, I've got another one. It's kind of in the middle, but this one is pretty interesting because I was like, ugh. Okay, this one goes, there's an older Indian graveyard a mile or so away from the house. You can find a bunch of arrowheads and such if you look into it. One of the graves there is sunken in. The story goes that a witch was buried in the graveyard one evening. The next morning, the grave had sunk in. They say the devil took a hold of her and her body, hauled her into the center of the earth, and if you dig a hole deep enough, it opens to the portals of hell. A real story that actually happened out of here was back in the late 1800s. A preacher came by a family's house one night in the evening. Back then, the infrastructure was non-existent. Not that our one-lane dirt roads are much better now. So what might have been 5 miles as the crow flies, you can tell this person's from somewhere down south.
Yeah.
Who uses that terminology?
As the crow flies.
As the crow flies was 10 miles through the thick underbrush on a goat trail. The preacher wound up having to stay the night. The father of the family woke up in the middle of the night and began beheading everyone. Starting with the preacher. Mm-hmm. No, the dad.
Oh, my God.
The dad.
Oh, my God.
So he started with the preacher, beheaded the preacher, then his wife and all of his kids, except for the one that escaped, her infant sibling. They would wound up locking the father up in an insane asylum. He was mad as all get out. So they're connecting, like, this graveyard to all of the misfortunes that happen in this little community that they've got. But I guess the witch might have put some sort of curse on this little stretch of town and basically makes people go completely insane.
That's insane.
Just beheads everybody.
My thing is, though, is, like, how does the only one that got away an infant?
You know, I'm not really sure what they were thinking there. Maybe they see infant as, like, toddler. Maybe they didn't quite know what toddler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I have an infant, and
I don't foresee him running away.
He goes about 6 inches. That's about it.
Not 6 inches.
6 inches,
he tries.
And he can't go any further than that. My goodness.
But, yeah, straight
That's
beheads them
crazy.
all.
Freaking cutting people's heads off.
Yeah. A preacher, too. Like,
that's insane. That tells you right now, right there, it makes you wonder with it saying, like, the witch and that is, like, the pit to hell, if it's the devil, like, in the person. Yeah. Like a demonic figure in the people, because they only kill the preacher's family.
Yeah. Like what?
Huh?
Huh?
Oh, my goodness. Okay. So I have not read this one all the way through, so I'm going to be just as shocked as you. It said, I had a terrifying encounter in the Appalachian Mountains, and I'm looking for answers. This was posted 3 years ago.
Aren't we all, honey?
Let me start by saying I have lived in the Appalachian Mountains all my life and have experienced a lot of strange things. My family was Irish and settled in West Virginia, but I currently live in North Carolina port of these wonderful mountains. That being said, I have learned a lot about what really lurks in these dark woods, but this was like nothing that I had ever experienced before. It all began with my golden retriever, Ozzy, growling like I had never heard before. He literally never growls, so that had me already uncomfortable, but this growl was bone-chilling. It was like he was getting ready to have to fight for his life or something. I took both him and my other dog out around 11 p.m., and he would not leave my side. I noticed that my workshop door was open, so I walked down to close and lock it up. The entire time, he was glued to my side. Ozzy also kept trying to get between my legs, still growling and all of the hair sticking straight up like a feral animal. The second I closed the door, all hell breaks loose in the woods. It sounded like 50 full-grown men had been broken out in a full sprint tearing through the woods. Trees were shaking, branches falling. In my life, I have never been that scared. We got back into the house before I shit my pants and got my pistol and mag light to figure out where the hell this is coming from and what was out there.
Not shit my pants.
When my dog and I got back outside, we were surrounded by what sounded like people mumbling. It was everywhere. Oh. I shined the light all over the woods and couldn't see anything, but the sound was coming from all around me. It sounded as if you got a full gym of people to baby mumble. You could almost make out the words. That's why I don't think that it was an animal. I almost immediately felt sick, like I was having a mix between a panic attack and a full swing of the flu. Back inside the house, it sounded like people were walking around all night long. The windows were creaking, and you could hear clearly the sound of shoes on gravel. The mumbling never stopped. Oh. Every time I got up to check the house, my feet would touch the floor and it would go dead silent. You couldn't hear birds, crickets, frogs, or anything. I was terrified and didn't sleep a wink. The air felt thick and evil all night, and that's the only way I could explain the feeling. Imagine a soaking wet quilt being tossed over you. That's how I felt. I am looking for any answers as to what this could be. This wasn't like normal spooky stories from my grandma and great uncles used to tell me at all.
Oh.
Is that not crazy?
Oh, no.
Ashley literally looks like she's about to cry.
Oh my gosh. I got chills the whole time.
I didn't even read that whole thing, but holy fucking shit.
Like, I just can't imagine, like, I could cry right now.
Yeah.
I would be petrified. What? So so anytime this person wasn't standing physically on the floor, it was like constant, like
mumbling.
Mumbling.
And like walking on the floors and outside in the gravel.
Oh, yeah. No. Absolutely not. No. No. I would have You would not have seen me. I would have been fart like a wind. Fart in the wind. Excuse me. Fart in the wind. That's how quickly I would be.
And this is
gone.
why I will not live in the Appalachian Mountains.
No. That is terrifying. It's like a cult thing. Maybe it's like a bunch of cult members. Like
Maybe. Well, what I'm picturing in my head is, and this is just from me watching way too much Vampire Diaries and stuff like that, is a witch coven, like holding hands around this cabin in the woods, just mumbling some kind of Vasmatos, like, you know what I mean? And like trying to put like a spell on him. But then whenever he makes a sound, they're like, oh, we gotta be quiet. That's what I picture in my head when I read that.
Demon, shut the door. No! Ew!
As the morbid girls say, fresh air is for dead people.
Yes. Oh, gosh.
Is that not insane?
I would cry. I would straight cry. I feel like crying at this current moment. Mm-hmm. I would literally go insane.
Yeah.
Because I can't figure out where it's coming from.
Yeah.
No. No.
I think I broke Ashley.
I'll take my steak and egg breakfast that the dog probably ate.
And the Mormons.
The Mormons. Gosh. No. No.
Do you have another one?
I only had 3.
That's okay. I've got one more, and that'll be my third one.
I love that for you. I can't. Oh, my God. I got to get it together over here, guys, because this is... Okay, that is terrifying.
This one I have also not read all the way through.
Oh, so we're both going to be surprised.
Yeah, let's see. It's a little longer, I guess. Not longer. It's about the same as the last one. So this says it's by Doopy Doopy. A year ago. Whoever Doopy Doopy is, I really like your name. I live in the heart of Appalachia, and this is easily the most terrifying story of one of my experiences. This story may be short. I can't get over Doopy Doopy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we can't. This is one of those moments in time where you can tell how unserious we are.
Okay. Let's start over. This story may be short, or it may be drawn out. I am recounting these events as I type. And honestly, one of the most horrifying things I have experienced, and it brings me genuine stress to even think about it. This happened maybe 2 to 3 years ago. I live in southern West Virginia and have for my entire life.
West Virginia,
country mama,
take me home.
Country roads. The woods and mountains surround every direction you look at, and at night is a darkness that you can never dream of unless you've experienced it.
I don't want to experience that.
I was with a friend. I'll call him Mark. Mark was at my house one evening doing the usual things, watching UFC, playing Xbox, etc. It was extremely late when we finally got bored and decided to go for a walk on a nearby trail to smoke a joint. This is already starting out great. Doopy Doopy makes sense now. Yeah. This is not particularly a long trail, but it is very dense in the woods that surrounded it, and it is easy to get freaked out when you think about your surroundings. We finally get about halfway into the trail, about 30 minutes in, where we stop, pack our joint, and stand on the trail to chill and talk. The forest is very alive tonight. There are always noises in the woods, but the amount of animal activity for the time was unsettling. At this point, it was probably past 1 a.m. This was strange and kind of eerie, but not alerting any sort of predatory animal in the area may cause a disturbance noise. We finish smoking and continue our walk, then almost immediately the forest falls dead quiet.
Ew.
And as soon as the forest goes quiet, there's a voice. It almost sounds like a mocking humanoid voice, shaky and uncertain, almost like an old children's toy, like the ones with the crackly speakers and robotic voice, if you know what I mean.
Oh, like that one Frozen ornament that they post, and she's like half singing, and it's like real crackly. Ew.
This immediately sets us off. We bolt directly down the opposite length of the trail, but the sound does not gain distance. It doesn't get closer per se, but no matter how far we ran down the trail, this eerie voice remains the same volume, going over and over with no quieting or stopping. At this point, I am convinced that we are in genuine danger, something I felt very few times. Finally, after sprinting for who knows how long, we exit the trail, gasping for breath and almost at the verge of tears of how frightening this was. We begin to exit the trail for about 5 minutes from the exit. There is a bone-shaking, heart-stopping, murderous scream from directly behind us. I know what a mountain lion sounds like. This was not an animal. This was not someone playing or watching a movie. This scream sent birds flying from nests and made my heart drop into my stomach. It was the most genuinely depraved and violent scream that I have ever heard. This is a true story that I have only told maybe 3 people, all of whom seem to brush it off as false. I've never been a person to push for the existence of the paranormal or the spiritual, but I genuinely believe that I encountered something inhuman in those woods.
So it's kind of like a barn owl. Like, you know, those barn owls when they scream.
Like,
yeah, like...
I don't want to blow y'all's ears out by screaming, but...
No.
Yeah.
The child's toy would have sent me. I would have died... and I would have gone to wherever I'm going to go. And they would have said, no, ma'am, you
But
gotta
could
go
you
back.
imagine, like, thinking that you're running away from it, but the sound just stays the same?
It stays the same.
It never gets, like, further away or anything.
Like, it makes you... No, I don't even want to wonder.
The Appalachian Mountains are crazy.
God, can you just... No. No.
So my family, part of it is from North Carolina. And growing up, when I would stay at my great-grandma's house every single night, and I know that it was coyotes. It had to have been because it was like the same exact noise every single night. But the blood-curdling scream, like it literally sounded like a woman was being murdered. And to know, you know, that to know that it was a coyote, you know, made me feel better. But to know that there's nothing around and you hear screams like that one person, and then to hear the mumbling outside your house, and then to have somebody watching, mimicking your moves, and nope, I'm good. We live close enough to the Appalachian Mountains where we are in Georgia, but...
That's going to haunt me in my nightmares. Oh.
Yeah. Hey, you said you wanted spooky, so I went spooky.
That was good.
This will tell you our personalities, just this episode, because yours were all funny and mine were like serious and scary.
Fucking Mormons.
And you're gonna shit your pants.
Yeah, like if you see me running, y'all, seriously, if you were to meet me in person and see me running, you better start moving.
Start booking it.
Just
Ashley,
look,
don't play.
Done. KO'd. I'm track star. I'm the next Olympics, baby. That's what I'm fixing to do. Oh my gosh.
She a runner, she a track star. Yeah.
No.
It's crazy. If you have any stories of the Appalachian Mountains, and we would
to hear them.
love to read them on the Tea is Haunted episode
Yay.
that is coming up. So please email us any of your stories, Appalachian or not, to...
groupchatishaunted@gmail.com.
Exactly. Make sure to follow the podcast and follow us on Instagram and TikTok at
The Group Chat is Haunted.
And we look forward to the next episode.
But do we though?
We do.
We do. West Virginia. Mountain Mama.
Take me home.
See you guys later.
Country road.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.